Are you ready to take a trip across America and experience all of the wild and crazy and somewhat strange roadside attractions that this country has to offer? Well, this video is going to take you there. From strange car hinge to hot springs and rock and roll stars' childhood homes, there's plenty to see on this video, so make sure you stick around to the end to see all of them. Now, these are just a handful of roadside attractions that are our favorites. There's plenty more to experience out there. These are going to focus on some of the free and cheap roadside attractions because we're trying to make it budget friendly. So, let's go ahead and dive right in to number one. First, we have the Jolly Green Giant Museum in Blue Earth, Minnesota. Now, it might just seem like it's a big statue of the Jolly Green Giant, but it's more than that. There is a statue you can take a picture with, but there also is a museum inside that is totally free, and they allow dogs inside, which is even better because we like to travel with our furry friends. The museum inside focuses on the history of the Jolly Green Giant and the products that were made, and they have some interactive stuff for the kids to do. I really enjoyed it. It brought back some childhood memories for myself, and they have a little dress up area where they can put on their work clothes and pretend like they're working. It was really fun for the kids, and they actually have a little station in there for the dogs, like that has water and things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And you can pin on the map where you're from. They have a little map in there where you can pin from, and you can also send postcards from the museum, which we did. We sent to my mom. The second place is Casey, Illinois, which is the little city of big things, or the little town of big things. We went here because we thought it just had the world's largest mailbox, and we actually found that it had the world's largest mailbox, the world's largest rocking chair, bird cage, Pokemon, Pokeball. Oh my gosh, there's so many things here. There's probably like 10 to 12 world's largest things here. So it's definitely worth a stop. You can get some ice cream. The kids can walk around. Here's the bird cage. We took pictures and all of the things. And it was a good like hour-ish stop. So it was really good. We could get out and stretch, use the bathroom, have a little break while we're on the road. Perfect. We loved it here. Every time we're on the road this way, we will be stopping in Casey, Illinois. Next up is Cumberland Falls, which is in Corbin, Kentucky. This again was just a kind of spur of the moment. We were on the road. We saw this was in our path, and we stopped here, and it was really amazing. They have gold mining that you can do, and gem mining. I'm sorry, gem mining, not gold mining. It wasn't open while we were there. I'm not sure if they have certain hours, like they're only open in the summer or whatever, but it wasn't open when we were there. We did get to see the waterfalls. The waterfall is amazing, so pretty, and we did the little hike. There's a little hike. There's some short hikes and a few longer hikes. We didn't have time to do the longer hikes because we were on the road and we had to drive somewhere that day. But just seeing the waterfall itself, amazing. Dinosaur, Colorado is our next stop, which is basically what it sounds like. It's a town full of dinosaur-ish things. They've got dinosaur painted on the side of the restroom there. They've got dinosaur statues, and there's a nice little playground, so it was a good short stop to get out and let the kids run around and play. You can also go to Dinosaur National Monument, which is a little bit further down. I wouldn't necessarily call this a roadside attraction because you could spend a day or even 2 days here, but we made it work for us in a short amount of time. We just got out and explored as much as we could in the time that we did have. They have dinosaur fossil beds you can check out, but we didn't get to do that. And then just the views are amazing. You can do the hikes. We couldn't do a lot of the hikes because we had the dog with us on this trip. So um, we did see they have petroglyphs and things on the rocks. Just an awesome place to stop. And obviously, if you have time, you could spend more than just, an hour or two here. You could spend a day. Next up, we have Hocus Pocus filming locations in Salem. I know everybody knows that Salem is famous for the witch trials that happened in the 1600s, but is also famous for the locations of where they filmed Hocus Pocus. You can see Ropes Mansion, Old Town Hall, and Old Burial Hill Cemetery. You can see all those things, and there's more. You just have to look them up. You can do a tour yourself, or you can let somebody else give you a tour, like a guided tour. And they have the Witch Dungeon Museum. There's so much to do here. Again, we spent the day here, but you could easily stop and just check out the filming locations and maybe not do the whole city. You can just do the filming locations, but if you have time, just explore. We grabbed some lunch here. You can take a picture with some of the statues. Next up is Dave Grohl Alley in Warren, Ohio. We had no idea about this place. I actually found it on Atlas Obscura, and we like Nirvana, we like Foo Fighters, we just like Dave Grohl in general. So we had to go check this place out. It was okay. It was a short little visit. It really is in an alley. So if you're not comfortable it's not like a dodgy looking alley really, but there's artwork and there's a statue of or a sculpture kind of thing of Dave Grohl playing the drums, and it was cool to get out. We probably spent like 5 to 10 minutes there. That's about the extent of it. It was just nice to get out, stretch, and look at some of the art. Next, we have the birthplace of the banana split in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. This is really just a quick stop to take a picture. You can read the little plaque, and it tells you that the banana split was invented in 1904 by David Strickler, who was 23 years old, and he was a pharmacist apprentice. Gives you more information. It was rainy the day we stopped, so we basically just literally stopped and took a picture, and that was the end of it. Um, it is right near Mr. Rogers' grave, which we also did, and I think I've included on this list. So if you're interested in that, just keep watching. The Troll Hole in Alliance, Ohio is a really unique and whimsical little museum. This lady has spent her entire life collecting trolls. She has a troll doll. She has over 9,000 different trolls, and she holds the world's record for the largest collection of trolls. And it goes through every like era of trolls up until like the most recent, which is like the DreamWorks movies. She gives you a great tour. The lady that actually collects the dolls didn't give the tour, but she was there, so we had a tour guide. But it was really cool, and the kids loved it. They had this little thing throughout where you had to find a hidden, I forget what it was, a hidden something in every room. And these are just some of the troll dolls. It was crazy. Like, if you grew up in the 90s and you liked trolls, this place is pretty cool. It brings back a lot of memories. My kids liked it, and they didn't even really grow up with trolls, but they just saw, like, looking at all the different ones and all their different costumes and all of that stuff. So it was really a neat experience. Carhenge, which is in Alliance, Nebraska, not Alliance, Ohio. Basically like Stonehenge, but it's cars. Not a whole lot to this place except that you can get out, walk around. They do have a little store if you need to get a beverage or a snack or something, and there are bathrooms. We enjoy just walking around and looking at all the cars. Again, it's just a short little stop here. There's not a whole lot to do this particular stop. They do have a trail that goes up to the colorful cars up here. So they have the regular, like, silver metallic looking cars. And then if you walk up a little bit, they have another set of cars that's different colors and a lot taller ones. So there's a little walkway that takes you around, and it's not very long. And then you come out, and on the other side where you can go to the gift shop, or I won't even call it a gift shop. The Apache Death Cave in Winslow, Arizona is basically what it sounds like. There were Navajo warriors that trapped and murdered 42 Apaches in this cave. This is the cave area here. I think it was that they set fire to, like, basically they burned them alive. I know it's horrible. But these other buildings up here are, we think, we tried to figure it out after the fact because we didn't actually know they were here. We think they were a roadside zoo. Because later on, after the massacre, it was turned into, this area was like a roadside zoo. So yeah, if you like haunted places, apparently this place is haunted. I don't think you can get into the actual cave. It would be dangerous to try to do so. Um, but and also beware that you need to be careful driving on the road out here because of the rocks, and it's just very bumpy and kind of hard to get to. And it was very hot when we were here too. So Our next stop is New River Gorge National Park in West Virginia. This is the newest national park in the United States, and we just loved it here. It was beautiful, just kind of relaxing. There is a pathway down to see the view of the bridge and the river, and then there's also picnic tables. They do have a gift shop. Obviously, they have bathrooms, so it checks all the boxes for stopping somewhere on your route. So we had a picnic here. We walked around. We went into the gift shop. I think I got a bumper sticker. I collect all the bumper stickers. It's a really peaceful little spot and not as crowded as a lot of the other national parks would be. Christ of the Ozarks in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, is a 67-foot tall monumental statue of Jesus. Like I said, it's in Eureka Springs. There are other things to do here. They do the Passion Play. It's not the Passion Play. Maybe it is called the Passion Play. Anyway, they do a play, and that is their main draw here. But you have to pay for it, and there are certain times for viewing, and it was just as we just stopped here, so we didn't have time to do all that. But there are other things here. They have a petting zoo, and they have a little Bible gift shop, and they also have part of the Berlin Wall here, an original part and a part of the Berlin Wall, and bomb shelters, what like bomb shelters would look like. Kind of random. I don't know. I don't know why that's there. I didn't actually look, but here's the part of the Berlin Wall. So I thought that was really cool because we've never been to Germany. They were hoping to soon, and so it's cool that they got to see that while we were here. So it's a nice little stop. Next up is Humpback Bridge in Covington, Virginia. This is just a beautiful place to come and sit and be at peace. If you don't have children with you, you can be at peace. But if you do, you might not get as much peace. We did not go intending to get into the water. We were just gonna like cross the bridge and maybe eat, have like a snack or something, and just kind of hang out for a little bit. So therefore, we did not have bathing suits or anything, but the kids had on shorts, so they got in and played around in the water. It was a nice enough day. So if you do plan to go here, we did see people here with like tubes and stuff like that. So apparently they do a lot of water activities, as much as you can in the river. So if you want to come and bring water things such as floats and bathing suits and things like that, then be more prepared than we were because we just weren't. There's a lot of graffiti on the bridge, so just beware. Some of it might not be appropriate. Obviously, most graffiti usually isn't. This was a really cool stop because I like covered bridges and I just enjoyed sitting there and seeing the view, honestly, while we were having our lunch. So I enjoyed this one. The Oregon Film Museum, aka the jail from the Goonies movie. If you have never seen the Goonies, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But most kids that are my age now, or most adults that were kids when the Goonies came out, know what the movie is. So this film museum is highly focused on the Goonies because it was filmed. A lot of it was filmed in Astoria, like Cannon Beach, and you can see the house and all of that stuff. So it also focuses on other movies that were made or filmed in parts of Oregon, especially Astoria. So you have like Stand By Me, Free Willy, Kindergarten Cop, all of those. So you can walk around the museum. They have some interactive things for the kids. You can actually make your own little movie, and if you give them your email, they'll send you your movie. We didn't actually remember to give our email, so we didn't get our movie, which kind of sucks. But you can walk around and look at everything, and then there's a gift shop as well. And we just had a fun time here. We probably stayed here for about an hour, hour and a half, and it was great. The Kurt Cobain Childhood Home and Memorial in Aberdeen, Washington. Kind of a story here. I love Nirvana, and I've always wanted to do this for as long as I can remember. Go to this house. I ran into the neighborhood's not the nicest. I'll go ahead and say that. One of the neighbors approached me. They were walking to their house, I guess, and started talking to me and basically told me that she used to do drugs with Kurt Cobain and was just talking to me about this. So I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know if it's actually true, but the memorial garden part itself, there's not a whole lot there. And honestly, I probably wouldn't sit there and have my lunch. It's not the nicest area, but it was cool to look at. And you can see under the bridge as well. They have this photo here. This I don't know what you'd call it, but it was a cool place for me because I feel like you could feel the presence of, I don't know, maybe that's just me because I'm weird, but I just like places like that. So we had a great time here. We only spent about 45 minutes or so. We went under the bridge and found some beer cans and people's underwear. So I don't know. And then we left. Um, I think this is, if you like Nirvana, definitely visit this place. Red Hill Hot Springs in Monroe, Utah. This has got to be my favorite hot springs in Utah so far, and I haven't done all of them. This one is, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Mystic Hot Springs, but it's the one like the bathtubs, and it's only like 2 minutes away from here. Now, Mystic Hot Springs costs money. This one does not. It is prettier. I will say it's prettier in the wintertime. And we've been there like 3 times, I think. Yeah, we've been to this hot spring like 3 different times. And there's like a cooler pool and then a medium pool, like medium heat, and then hot at the top. So that's really cool that they have um, bathrooms here too that you can change because a lot of hot springs don't have those things. So we had a great time here, even though the kids saw a snake and then they were ready to leave because the snake was like in the water. But if you go in the winter, you definitely won't have that problem. This is called Red Hill Hot Springs. Definitely put this one on your list if you're in Utah. This is it in winter time. So yeah, the view's a lot prettier, I think, in winter. Animal Ark is a 38-acre nonprofit wildlife sanctuary in the northern Nevada foothills. So it's near Reno. I love when I can find animal sanctuaries because I don't support roadside zoos. Honestly, I just don't like it because a lot of them have bad reputations for the way they treat their animals. And so I like when we can find sanctuaries where they're actually rehabilitating or just rescuing animals. So this was a win for us. Now, it does cost more, but that's just because you're helping them pay for keeping up with the animals and feeding the animals and all that. So I'm okay with that. We found the cutest little porcupine. His name was Quilber. How cute is that? And he danced for us and everything. Um, and there was a bear. Actually, there was 2 bears. There were lions and tigers. Like there was a lot of different kinds of animals here. We spent a good little chunk of time here. Now, do keep in mind that if you have pets with you, they're not allowed in here, obviously. These are the leopards, cheetahs. Oh my gosh. What are they? They're cheetahs. They're cheetahs. Like, she made them purr. So we got to hear them purr. And just the scenery around is really beautiful. It was just a beautiful space, and we enjoyed spending time with all the different animals. So definitely recommend this one. The National Museum of Military Vehicles in Wyoming. This one we just came upon. We saw a sign for it and we said, hey, let's go there because we had to stop anyway. And we weren't even going to go in because the sign on the door said the only animals that are allowed are service animals. So I went in and I was like asking for prices and stuff. And I said, oh man, I wish we could come in, but we have our dog and it was too hot, to even think about leaving him in the car or anything. And she said, is he a service animal? And I said, no. And she said, is he a service animal? Like wink, wink. And I said, oh, okay, yeah, sure. So they let our dog in, which I thought was really cool. He's really well behaved, or was really well behaved, and the kids loved this place. They found it really interesting. They liked going on all the climbing on the cars and stuff, and this was just a win for us. They also have a little cafe. If you're hungry, you can grab some lunch there. And obviously they have bathrooms. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this place, especially in Wyoming where you can never find anywhere to stop and use the bathroom because it's just nothing for miles. We enjoyed it. We learned history, and and thumbs up for that one. Shrine of the Grotto of the Redemption in Iowa. This one is really cool. It's the world's largest man made grotto, and it features 9 separate scenes depicting the life of Jesus Christ, constructed from a massive collection of precious stones, gems, and minerals. I just thought, I don't know, it's just kind of breathtaking to me. It's awesome that somebody built this. Like, just thought of this and built this. And the dog was allowed here as well. My son videoed this, so I'm sorry that it's all over the place, but yes, pets are allowed. Just have to keep them on the leash. And this is a nice little, maybe 30-minute to an hour stop. It's like right beside of a church. It's kind of like where you wouldn't even expect something like this to be. Um, but you can climb up to the top and get a view of the little town. Not that it's whole lot to look at. There is a gift shop. There are bathrooms. So again, ticks all the boxes, and right across from it, there's like a little cafe, or there was. I don't know if it's still there. This was a few years ago when we were here. So if you like weird things, this one I think is really strange, but also pretty awesome. The Fort Museum and Frontier Village in Fort Dodge, Iowa. It's a nonprofit, privately owned attraction, and it's dedicated to preserving the 19th century Iowa history. This one was again one we just stumbled upon. We were driving, and I saw a sign said Fort Museum, and I was like, "All right, let's go see what that is." So it was interesting, and they did allow the dog in. So any place that allows pets in, I'm pretty okay with, because if you're traveling with pets, you know how hard it is to go and see things and do things because a lot of places don't allow pets in. But we found this one interesting. I don't know if I'd go back again. It was just kind of, we were in the area, we needed something to do, and so we stopped and did it. The kids enjoyed exploring all the little houses, but I don't know if I'd go back. Butch Cassidy's childhood home in Utah. Again, we've stopped here twice, once in the winter and once in the summer. This is exactly what it says it is, Butch Cassidy's childhood home. If you don't know who Butch Cassidy is, he was a notorious American train and bank robber who led the Wild Bunch gang during the 19th and early 20th centuries. So, if you like history, I actually just really like, look at the view here. That's why I stop. It has nothing to do with Butch Cassidy, the reason I stop. I just like the view here. And again, it's a good place to get out and let them walk around and stretch. So, but if you like history and you're into the Butch Cassidy stuff, good stop for you. Storyland in New Orleans. Most people think of New Orleans and they think of like the city, but Storyland was a nice place that we went and was good for the kids. It's geared towards smaller kids, so I would say like 5 and under is what it's really geared towards. My younger kids still had fun, but most of it is for younger kids. They do have a big slide that they all did. It's like a really big slide. This is definitely not it. Um, and they all enjoyed doing that. But it's basically storybook themed, like the little woman who lived in the shoe. Um, they had James and the not James and Giant Peach, Jack and the Beanstalk, things like that. Again, it was really cheap. There's the big slide in the background if you can see it, that big green slide. So that one is good for all ages. But this is a nice little stop. I think it was like $2 or $3 a person. I mean, unless it's gone up since then, it's really not bad. So if you're in New Orleans and you're trying to find something to do with kids, this is a great option, especially if you have smaller kids. The Crystal Shrine Grotto is located within Memorial Park Cemetery in Memphis, Tennessee. This one is literally in, like, you'll drive into the cemetery, and it's not like it's visible as soon as you drive in. You have to find it, and it's like in the cemetery. Pretty cool. It's a smaller grotto than the other one in Iowa, but I don't know. I just like these. I don't know why. They're just kind of mesmerizing to me. I want to find all the grottos and go look at all of them. This one is also man-made. It's a crystal cave. It was created between 1938 and 1955, and there is a really pretty area outside with a little pond. And unfortunately, I didn't see any tables where you could just sit down and have a picnic. I know picnic in a cemetery might be weird to some people, I guess. Um, so we didn't, and it was also very windy, so that's another reason we didn't have our picnic here. But it's just really beautiful out here, just the outside and the inside. We were actually in Memphis. We were driving through because we were headed to Elvis Presley's birthplace in Tupelo, Mississippi. Obviously, this is what it says it is. This is the house that Elvis was born in. This is not the location it was in when he was born. They had to move it, but this is the original house. And you can go in and do a tour inside of the house. It does cost money. So there are 3 different exhibits here. You can go in the house and see the inside of the house, which is basically just straight back. Like, what do they call them? The shotgun houses or something. So it's basically just straight back. You have somebody in there that kind of gives you information if you want it. The dog was allowed in. Then you have the museum, and then you also have the church. We did not go into the church. We did do the museum, but you're not allowed to film in there either. There's a gift shop. Obviously, everywhere we go has a gift shop. We come away with all the souvenirs. So, yes, there's a gift shop. I love Elvis. I grew up listening to Elvis because my mama listened to him. And I watched all the movies. I know, lame, but I did. So, I liked this place a lot. Chamberlain Rest Stop in South Dakota. This is where we always stop when we're coming into South Dakota. Um, when we're going from Sioux Falls to Rapid City. We stop here. You have the statue here that is called Dignity of Earth and Sky. That's the statue. And then you can also do a little walk over to look at the Missouri River. It's just beautiful. The inside has exhibits that you can look at, and it's just like it's a rest area, but I think we've stopped here 4 times, and there are times now the center inside is not open during the winter. I'm not sure when it actually opens for the season, but I know it's not open in the winter because when we've been in the winter, it's closed. But honestly, you could spend a few hours here. This is basically a museum inside. It gives you a lot of history, and then you can take the walk outside. You can sit and have a picnic. There are tables out there where you can have a picnic. So it's just one of our favorite stops because at this point in our trip, we're usually like ready to get out of the car, and this is great because we get to spend a lot of time out of the car. And they have really nice bathrooms, and the people there that work there are very nice. They have a lot of brochures and stuff that you can take with you that tells you all about South Dakota. So one of our top favorite places to stop just for convenience and the fact that there's a lot of stuff to do. The birthplace of Kermit the Frog, which is in Mississippi. This one is really strange. I don't know if like I found this one online because I was trying to find something for us to do um, while we were traveling in the southern states, and this popped up. I was like, okay, I like Kermit. I'm cool with Kermit. Let's go check it out. So we did, and the kids played. They had some old toys there, and they have a lot of souvenirs. Now they do have a lot of oh my gosh, Sesame Street stuff. And I was asking about that, and she basically said because Disney owns Muppet Babies now, it makes it harder to get the merchandise. So they had to stock the shelves with other stuff that as well. So this museum just gives you a tour of Jim Henson's life, basically, and how he created the Muppets. And you can also go see the Rainbow Bridge, which is like a few minutes down the road from here. So that's it for our roadside attractions for this video. I will be creating a second one, so if you liked this one and you want to see more, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps us out, and be on the lookout for that second video to show you all the other cool roadside attractions.